Hello, welcome to today's episode of What I'm Watching. I'm Laura, and in this series, I am going to give you 3 selections across different streaming services that will help you occupy some time. Now that you know what today's episode is about, if you're interested, then go ahead and stay tuned because I'm bringing these 3 selections to you right now. So today's selections are all on Netflix. That's not always the case. Some of these episodes are across different services, but today's are going to be from Netflix. First up, I have a series for you, and it is Somewhere Between. So this series deals with time travel. Now, I know that can be kind of a weird subject and kind of confusing at times, at least for me. Sometimes when you do time travel, they go back in the past and then they flip back to the present. This show really doesn't do that. It takes you to the past and then it plays out the rest of the way. You really don't do a whole swapping between present and past time. Once it swaps to the past, it stays in the past and just plays out in that timeline for the rest of the series. This show really touches on the subject of how many people are in prison just because other people have money and power. So it's kind of a touchy subject, but it does touch on that, again, showing you how our system is broken and how some people's lives can be completely ruined just because someone else has set them up. I do want to go ahead and tell you this series only has 1 season. It does wrap up. There's not a cliffhanger that's going to leave you dangling. The story will come full circle. You'll get that closure. I do wish there were more of this one. I would definitely watch more of this show, but for what it is, think of it more as a limited series, kind of a mini series, than a series that got cut short. Now, our next selection, the title is going to be a little similar, but it's a completely different storyline. That is the show Between. Now, this show kind of reminds me of an old show I used to watch when I was a kid, The Tribe, where there's kind of a virus that's come and it's killed all of the adults and all that are left are kids, and they are trying to survive on their own. So in that respect, this show really reminds me of The Tribe. As I mentioned, this storyline does start with a virus. You're going to have kind of government conspiracies, kids having to survive on their own, kind of make up their own governments, learning how to not just survive, but survive with each other. Now again, this is another series that was obviously canceled abruptly. The ending is going to be a total cliffhanger that you can tell they were setting up for another season, but it got cut short. Don't worry though, I think this one has enough material to get you invested in the storyline and just see how it plays out. I do want to let you know though, that very last episode is going to leave you on a cliffhanger. We are now to our third and final selection. This one is going to be a movie, and it is the movie The Call. This one was recommended to me by a coworker and it did not disappoint. It kept you on your toes, that adrenaline pumping. If you're into that sort of thing, give this movie a try. It just might be the one for you. This series makes you want to give a shout out to all of your 911 operators, those high stress environments. I don't know how they deal with that every day in and out, but thank you to all of them. And this is just a glimpse into that lifestyle. This movie truly shows you how crazy and quite frankly scary the world that we're living in is, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. If anything, it's probably getting a little worse. This movie brings this situation to light in a beautiful way. Now, the ending on this one, I will tell you, it is very satisfying. You have a little bit of poetic justice happening here, so make sure that if you start this movie, you stick it out to the end. If you are still here with me, thank you very much for watching the full video. If you're interested in more selections, don't worry, I have a full playlist that I will have linked here for you. If you're interested in something else, then don't worry, I'll go ahead and link my last posted video for you. That way you can check that one out. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe. That way you can see me in the next video. I hope to see you then.